Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm not going to be coming at you with 100% energy. I'm just going to be real. I'm still in my pajamas. I'm sick. I threw up this morning. My throat is super dry. And I wanted to kind of go over what has been happening. And this is my 3-week update video. I was going to wait for a month, but it's really honestly been hell. So I wanted to just share that with you guys now. And hopefully I do get better next week, but we'll see. I was actually supposed to go back to work. I'm supposed to go back on the 6th or something of January, but now there is no possible way. I will get into why, and I will get into what's been happening the past 3 weeks and my diets and how they're going. So let's get into it. I'm just gonna start out with the week one. Week one, I got out of the hospital 4 days after my surgery because there was a little bit of complications. Nothing in me that was complications. There was no leaks, anything like that. But I did have this pain in my left leg that kind of freaked me out because, the blood clots were a thing to take into consideration and all that. So luckily they ruled that out. I got x-ray. I had to drink this nasty stuff to make sure I had no leaks. So they did 2 x-rays on me. That was day 2 out of surgery. So it was such a shock for my body to go through because I was I was could barely walk, and they wanted me to stand for my x-ray, and the machine was just moving me up and down, and it was a lot, but I'm glad that nothing was wrong in that sense. When I first got out of the hospital, there was nothing but gravity just pulling down on my incision where my stomach was pulled out. That was the most painful part, was the incision where I think they cut it open a little bit more just so they can get your stomach out. So that is still sore, and it's been 3 weeks. They said it could take up to a month for it to not really be that sore feeling, but it's really taken its time. I'm finally able to sleep on it now. When I first got home and everything, I'm a stomach sleeper and a side sleeper. So it was really weird getting used to having to sleep on my back. So what they do, just so if anybody doesn't know how they do it, I'm just gonna explain really quick. So they do 6, they can do 5 to 6. They had to do 6 for mine, I don't know why, but so they do 5 to 6 little incisions so that the cameras and the robots can go inside of you. And then the biggest incision, like I said, was the one where they took my stomach out. So the other ones didn't there was nothing wrong with them. Everything healed fine. Everything's great. I don't want to show you guys because I just don't want to, but my incision part where they took my stomach out, painful. So after I got out of the hospital on Thursday, I got discharged at 11 a.m. and we went home directly after that. Came back here to Humboldt and I was fine. So I thought I would be prepared for the dehydration and all that because I was really trying to stay on top of my water. But because my stomach was so new and my pain medication made me feel so different than when I was off of it, I didn't know to the extent how painful I would feel when my drugs wore off. So I personally could not handle the pain of my incision, and I would get nauseous and I could not keep any water down. I didn't throw up. I'm just saying I couldn't stomach the sight of any liquids. When I was in the hospital, broth and Jello were oh my gosh, I was oh, I can eat finally, yes. Now, if you mention broth around me, I will literally throw up on you because that is disgusting. I am trying to get down pudding, but it's weird. It's you eat it for one day and you're this is so good, and then the next day your stomach and your brain is just wired to not want it again. And it's I don't know if that happens to other people, but it's really shitty. Right now I just opened this pudding and I took one bite and I'm that is disgusting. And I used to love it. I was so excited for the chocolate pudding. So that's pretty much the reality of that. So after week 1, I ended up going back to the hospital on the next Monday after that, and I actually had an appointment with my nurse practitioner back down south again. So that worked out fine, but she ended up, my surgeon and her ended up admitting me for 2 days because I was super dehydrated and my incision pain was so, I can't even explain, it hurt so bad. Like I said, like the gravity was like pulling down my incision, and they said that's normal, but I have a really low pain tolerance, so I was not about to like experience that at home and cry and everything. I just didn't want to do that. I wanted to make sure everything was okay. So that's when they x-rayed me and everything too. So I was in the hospital until Tuesday, and they discharged me, or Wednesday, I can't remember. No, I think it was Tuesday. And then I went home and I was fine for about another week, maybe less, maybe like 5 days. And then I was drinking my water and drinking Gatorade, and that's when they had advanced me to full liquids, so I was able to have pudding and cream of wheat and everything. Well, just last week, it was just last week actually, yeah, I went to the emergency room at 3 a.m. because I was throwing up my water, and that was different. I've never thrown up at all through this process, not even after surgery, so I was concerned. Couldn't get my liquids to stay down, and that was even more dehydrating because you need your water, like literally you need your water. Puking in general will make you dehydrated, so it was just like worse that I was puking up the only like liquids I could get in my body. Then it took me like probably 20 minutes tops to get a room. Since I just had surgery, they rushed me just to make sure everything was fine, because I told them that I was puking, I had stomach cramps, I had abdominal cramps. I didn't know what was happening, because I'm just gonna be real with you, I just got an IUD earlier this month, so I wasn't really sure if it was that or if it was just everything all together. I've heard from like in the past that your IUD can make you like cramp and bleed again, since you just had like a major surgery that like affects 100, I think it's like 102 hormones or 120, either way it's a lot. So that's why I even got the IUD, just to make sure everything was okay. My body, don't want to end up pregnant, you know, too early. But so long story short, they did another x-ray. They put this like medicine in my IV to like clear out my, I don't even know it. Honestly, I was like on morphine, so I did not know what was happening. But everything was fine with my stomach, no leaks, no tears. That was my biggest fear, because I don't want to have to go through that. I know somebody who did have to go through that, and she had to be on a feeding tube for like 2 months in the hospital. So everything so far has been great on my stomach healing. But for some reason, I'm like puking still. I woke up puking this morning. I'm on the pureed stage now. So let me tell you guys, they bumped me up to purees on Tuesday, yesterday. And so today is the 1st of January. And on the 31st, they bumped me to purees. So purees is like anything, pureed, no, I'm kidding. Anything that's like applesauce texture. So I got a blender for Christmas, and I haven't even used it yet, but basically if you have a blender, you just put shit in there and that's good. You know, you don't want to put anything too crazy in there. I tried last night. It's probably why I threw up this morning, honestly. I tried to puree Indian tacos. Okay, don't do that. Okay, this is like, I don't know why I did that. Another thing that I also wanted to talk about towards the end of this video is head hunger. Last night I pureed some meat and cheese, sour cream, some salsa, and you know, I pulled apart the Indian taco bread and just put a little bit in there, and that was fine yesterday, but my stomach didn't really like it, so nothing happened luckily yesterday. I didn't puke or anything after I ate it, but right when I got home, about like midnight, I did not feel good at all. I knew I was probably gonna regret it the next morning. I could just tell, like I couldn't sleep because of it. I didn't go to bed till like 2. It was yesterday was probably like the second worst like feeling I felt with my stomach. Like just, I've never felt like that before. And it's like so different trying to get used to your stomach. It's a different experience. Like I said, you could watch a million videos on YouTube, you could talk to a million people about their experiences, but you're going to go through different experiences. And I thought that maybe making like YouTube videos about my experiences would be fine, and so that people could watch them and maybe like it would inspire them or maybe prepare them. But it really, like, I mean, the only thing you could really do from my experience is take from my experience, and you know, maybe if you're going through the similar things, it will make sense to you. But like I said, you're on your own. Like you really just have to figure out your body and your stomach on your own. That's why it's really important to follow the doctors and surgeons like orders of what you need to eat, because I don't know why people want to try and advance their foods too early just to cause them stomach damage. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there's been times where I've been really close to wanting to try. I'm like, oh, let me just try one little bite. It's not gonna do anything. But then I'm like, I don't want to be on a feeding tube for months or a year or whatever. Like, you know, I don't want to rupture my stomach and have to get the surgery all over again, because I'm not gonna lie, the liquid diet is really hard. At first, it was fine. By week 3, when I like was on the full liquids and everything, like I was like hungry, and my hunger would come and go. And it's mostly when other people are eating around me, because at first hunger wasn't an issue. If people were eating around me, I would find it disgusting. Especially right when I got out of surgery, my boyfriend was eating like Taco Bell in the room, which was fine, so don't hate, but it was disgusting. Like the smell of it made me want to puke. When I start like getting my stomach healed and everything, that's when my hunger starts, you know, kicking in. And that's also because I don't get my protein in enough. So if you get your protein in, they say that you won't have that hunger, because your body and your stomach is looking for that protein. And if you don't have anything in your stomach, that sends like a signal to your brain like, hey, there's nothing in here, you know? It's just been all around rough. I've been really weak and short of breath a lot. Sometimes like my heart pounds so much and my breaths are taken away, especially when I'm sick right now. Like just walking to the sink to get something, like I had to sit back down and I had to like catch my breath because something is congested and I'm just so weak. I don't get my protein in enough. I know that, but it's like also my body is still recovering from major surgery. I keep forgetting that I'm only 3 weeks out. I'm like 22 days out of surgery. So it's like my body is still like changing. Like it doesn't know what's going on. I traumatized it. No, that's not the right word. Traumatize it. Why did I say traumatized? What the f-? It's just not very happy with me right now. But that's why I wanted to tell you guys that I can't, that's why I'm not going back to work, because I take care of people, older people. And so I don't want to go back to work like this, where I'm like out of breath, can't really move around because of my incision pain and all that. And I'm like, I don't want to put myself in danger or my participants in danger where I work. So, my surgeon and everybody are going to help me, you know, take a little more time off work. I was told like 3 weeks would probably be fine as long as everything goes smoothly, but so far being hospitalized twice, you know, and all that, it's just everything's being delayed. And I'm really, really, really trying to get my water in. I have to have 64 ounces of water a day and 60 grams of protein when my stomach is the size of a golf ball and I don't want anything to eat because everything sounds disgusting. Moving on to like the most important part that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Because of all the hormones that have changed in my body, it's causing me to be more emotional than I have really ever been. It's really weird to think about because I am a very emotional person already, but it's like 10 times worse. There will be days when I have this like, it's not like an anger, but it's like I'm mad at myself type thing, and I'm never going to regret doing this because I think the last time I weighed myself, it was like 31 pounds down since surgery. So like 31 pounds in like 22, 23 days is like super good. But I would have never been able to do that on my own. I don't want to regret doing this just because I can't eat as much as I used to, you know? Like that shouldn't be a regret. Like, and I know a lot of people regret this surgery because of that, because they can't intake as much food. They don't enjoy it the same. Like, that should not be why you regret the surgery, okay? One of the things that I regret is not like, I guess I thought that I researched this enough, and I did. I was obsessed with YouTube videos on this. I would research every night, I swear. Every night, you can ask anybody around me. And I would even show other people's journeys on YouTube because I was so excited for them. You know, they're all like 100 pounds down or 150 pounds, like, you know. So I don't regret the surgery at all. There's no point in regretting the surgery. There's no point in regretting it. Like, for what reason? I already did it. It's not reversible. But I just wish that I would have known how hard it is to do this, because as being 23 and not really like emotionally stable enough to handle another hormonal change in my body, it was just a lot to process. It still is. There's days where I'm sad because I can't do anything, so I'm just laying in bed while everybody else is out there having fun, or even I'm jealous of people being able to go back to work, because let me tell you, being on disability, the paychecks ain't fun. I also, honestly, like, the only regret I have is just maybe not emotionally and physically preparing myself for this, because I don't like the feeling of being out of breath walking from the car to the house. I don't like being out of breath walking from the bathroom to my bedroom, you know. And I know that it's because my body is changing and I did put it through this traumatic thing, but it's a weird feeling. I feel like I'm like 700 pounds and I'm being punished. My lungs are a 700-pound person's lungs, I swear. Like, they want me to go to the gym and work out and everything, but I feel so lightheaded and dizzy and nauseous, and I know that I need to go walk on the treadmill because that's all I'm cleared for right now. So I'm just scared. And I had one anxiety attack, you know, driving, so I had to pull over the car. I guess the biggest thing that scares me is, like, week-wise, is when I take a shower, because I don't want to faint in the shower. I've almost fainted twice. I've never felt a feeling of faint before. I've never experienced that in my life. I've never wanted to know what that was like. I came close to that twice, and it's just weird. I had to get out of the shower with like soap in my hair and everything. It was just, for people who have told me that it's the easy way out, for people who have told me that, you know, I shouldn't do this at all because I can just do it on my own. Those are the people that are either not trying to work out or change themselves, or they're just undereducated. That's like number one. You're just undereducated. So this is a lot harder than just the easy way out. I wish that everybody could know what I'm going through, because I may not look like I'm like sick, or I may not look like I feel like shit all the time, but I really do, and I try to mask it so that I'm not a party pooper. And that's why I overdo myself all the time, because like week 2, I was like out walking in the mall for Christmas shopping. That was like the worst. I had to get a freaking wheelchair almost. Like, it was bad. You know, I've even like rode scooters in the stores and people look at me weird, and I don't care. Like, I really don't care. This surgery will make you just not care anymore. I just wanted to share my like 3-week experience with you guys. I know it's kind of like all over the place and rushed. I don't know what else to say. I'm gonna keep pushing on through. It's definitely a weird experience. I don't regret it. I just wish that this would end soon of feeling this way. Somebody asked me if I would ever recommend it to anybody, and I think that I don't know honestly. I think it's a great thing for people who need it, but I hope that other people, you know, I already know other people go through way more worse experiences than me in this case. I just hope people don't have to go through the shit that I'm going through, because especially when I'm home alone, and especially when I don't really have anybody to take care of me like that when I feel weak, because my boyfriend's like working or whatever. It's lonely and it's hard, but I know it'll all be worth it. I guess I just don't like the waiting game. I just kind of want it all to be over with so I can resume back to a somewhat normal life. And but don't get me wrong, 2020 will be my year, and I'm excited to see my changes. I'm excited to see how people treat me different. I'm excited to see if people close to me treat me different. It'll be interesting. So we'll see. I'm gonna check back in with you guys in about a month. I feel like maybe like a 2-month, you know, check-in will be good. So I will see you guys then. Thank you for coming to my channel. Hopefully I, you know, look a little tiny bit different. I won't be wearing this, so it's okay. I won't be wearing my pajamas. Honestly, I just don't care. See, like, I really just don't care anymore. The old me would have been like trying to do my makeup, and no, I don't care anymore. So all right, thank you guys so much for supporting this channel, subscribing, liking, commenting, even on my Instagram. I love you guys so much, because I love reading all the comments and the like positive feedback and all the DMs asking me like about my process. It's a lot to take in because I've never had this many like DMs about like anything. So it takes a while to get back to you. I'm sorry, but I hope you guys enjoy your day, and thank you for wasting your time on me, and I will see you guys next time.